just send it right there.
I'm sure they'll be sending plenty my way.
NL East now, and it seems like the choice here might be obvious too. I think you got to go with the Phillies. I mean, two-time defending NL champs. You know, I like Chase Utley. I think he's probably the best overall player in the team, in my opinion. I think Roy Halladay is going to make another big impact on this team. But I think probably the big question is Brad Lidge going to show up this year? I mean, 2 years ago he had a great year, and then not so much last year. So, Jordan, you going with the Phillies?
I am going with the Phillies. I think the Braves will be the second team in this division. I'm not really going out on much of a limb by saying that, but you know, the Braves are, you know, refreshed. You know, they've gone through, you know, losing a lot of their key guys from a few years back that won a bunch of division titles. Now they've got, you know, that next wave in and already established with the addition of Jason Hayward, who clearly showed his impact on opening day. But when it comes down to it, the Philadelphia Phillies, are going to win. You mentioned Brad Lidge didn't even have that good of a year last season. They still not only won the division, not only won the National League, got to the World Series again. And I wouldn't be shocked. You know, they're going to win the division. I wouldn't be stunned to see them back in the World Series for a third year in a row.
Mike.
Little Corso, not so fast, my friend. You alluded to the Braves. I like the Braves to kind of pull the upset, if you will, in that division, shock some people. You talked about the addition of Jason Hayward, who clearly looks like is going to make a run for Rookie of the Year. And then you've got Nate McLouth out in center field. You've got the addition of Troy Gloss. You've got Chipper Jones. I mean, you go on the line. Then they've got three starting pitchers that are solid with Tim Hudson, Derek Lowe, and Jared Jurgens. They've got a solid team. Bobby Cox's experience, you know, and I don't want to go back too far, but you've got to remember all those division championships that Bobby Cox has won. They know how to win games. They've got a solid group that can get the job done. I like the Phillies to win the wild card, the Braves to pull the upset and win the division.
And I'm going opposite. Yeah, I'm going opposite. I've got Braves as my wild card, so this will be a good division, and yeah.
And I'll say the Braves are my wild card. We'll talk about that later, but I might as well just say it now.
We didn't even talk about this before the show.
Yeah, that's right. NL West. You know, a lot of people might be picking the Dodgers, but I'm going to go with the Giants. Why? Because I think they got a great pitching staff. You know, you take a look at the Giants, too, and I think they got a good balance of youth and experience, which, you know, that balance hasn't been really with them the last couple of years. Now I think they hit the equilibrium that they need, and I think, Jordan, that they're going to win. What do you think?
I think the Giants are definitely going to be competitive in this division. You mentioned they have a great pitching staff. They have a good closer. They've got a team that's distanced themselves from the Barry Bonds days. You know, they showed who they were last year. They're a good team last year. So I think they're going to compete. I am picking the Dodgers. I think this might be about as close of a race as we have in any of the divisions, because the Rockies are also going to make their way into this race. But when it comes down to it, I think the Dodgers will win the division, and then you might look at a division that almost beat itself up too much to put a wild card team in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, Jordan. I like the Dodgers to win this division. They've got solid pitching with Clayton Kershaw, the young guy, and Chad Billingsley, Hirota. They've got solid pitching staff, and then they're a good team. It's hard to pick against Joe Torre coached squad. They seem to get the job done at clutch time, and I like the Dodgers.
AL Central time. Let's go over to the AL, and I'm just going to go with the team that likes to just win, and they just know how to win, and they know how to get there. It's the Twins. And why do I go with the Twins? Well, I think this is going to be a really close division. I think the Tigers, I think the White Sox, I think the Twins all have a legitimate shot to win this one, but Joe Mauer might be my favorite player in baseball, and they just got him that nice, new, beautiful, money-laden deal, so I think he's going to be happy. And then also, you know, you take a look at them. With their bullpen, might be some question marks there, but I think they're going to answer those questions. And I brought my Twins hat. Bought this at the Metrodome last year, so I'll put it on for this part. I'm gonna go with the Twins. Mike,
you have a piece of history now because the Twins are moving to Target Field.
Yeah. And I got this at the Metrodome.
I think on a strategic standpoint, it'll be interesting to see how the Twins how they play, because they don't have that turf. It's a different, their style of baseball. You know, Gardenhire did a great job employing a strategy that used that turf to help them get success. But I do like the Twins. I think they have one of the strongest lineups in Major League Baseball. The addition of J.J. Hardy and Hudson, not only defensively at shortstop and second, but in the lineup as well. And then you go through, you got a guy like Jason Kubel DHing and Jim Thome sitting behind him as the backup. And then you've got Joe Mauer, Justin Morneau. I mean, down the line, Delman Young, who's had a good opening weekend. The Twins, I think, are the clear front runners to win this division. I like them winning this division by 5 games plus. I think the Tigers and the White Sox are valid opponents, strong opponents, but in the end, they don't have the firepower offensively or in pitching that the Twins do.
Well, you talk about target field. There is one thing I know. No balls are going to be getting lost in that white ceiling anymore, Jordan.
Yeah, well, you alluded to, I'd have to disagree with you as far as having deeper pitching than the White Sox. The White Sox, 1 through 4, you look at it, you have Mark Burley, Jake Peavy. We already saw Mark Burley's play. I know you guys, both of you are Twins and Cubs fans, can't stand the White Sox. You got to give them credit for that play.
Beautiful play.
But you have Burley, Peavy, Danks, Floyd, 1 through 4. That is a pretty deep pitching staff compared to the Twins' starting staff. But and also the Twins suffered, the loss to Joe Nathan. I think I agree. I definitely agree with you as far as the Twins have one of the deepest starting lineups in baseball, offensively, defensively. Alex, I'll agree with you too. I'm a diehard White Sox fan. Joe Mauer, one of my favorite, if not my favorite player in the major leagues. That's a guy that just gets the job done and keeps his mouth shut. The guy that you're shocked to see the amount of money he pulled in because you can't picture him walking in there and saying, hand it over. But, I hate to play the favorite with both of you guys, but the Twins, I think, will win the division. The Sox are going to keep this thing more competitive. I absolutely think it's clear-cut between these two teams. I don't think I don't see the Royals, the Indians, or the Tigers even making much of a push. But I do think it'll be between the Twins and the White Sox. That Gardenhire, Ozzie Guillen rivalry. Their styles of baseball. They're good friends, but when they're in competition, it's always heated. And I think this will be one of the more fun 1-2 races to see. I think the White Sox might give a little bit more of a fight than you gave them credit for, though.
If Francisco Liriano and Kevin Slowey, two Twins pitchers over the last couple years that have battled injuries, if they remain healthy, these guys are unbelievable pitchers. We've seen it with them at their best. If they remain healthy, I trust in the Twins pitching staff or pitching coaches to get that job done.
Yep. I'm probably have a little head now, but we'll just put that right there. Let's go now to the AL West. It seems like every year is supposed to be the year where the Mariners break out and they finally win it. And it seems like it's never happened. But I'm going to say this is the year that's going to happen. Take a look at Felix Hernandez. I think he's going to have a good year for him. And I think they're going to finally close the gap with the Angels. It seems like the Angels are usually pretty dominant over the last few years in this division. I think they're going to win this. They pitch really well. They play defense really good as a team. So I think this is the year where the Mariners finally win the AL West. Mike, what do you think?
The Mariners have a good pitching staff. The addition of Cliff Lee, that's a big step in the right direction. Felix Hernandez, also a very well-established pitcher. But the issue I have with the Mariners is they were one of the worst teams at scoring runs last year. And in a division like the AL West, when you're facing a team like the Angels, you got to be able to score runs. So I think the Mariners are going to be competitive, but in the end, I think the Angels, because they can score runs and because of their pitching staff and consistency, Mike Scioscia has done a wonderful job really bringing that team back to glory. I like the Angels.
Yeah, I like the Angels too. As you mentioned, the Mariners, they have struggled to score runs in the past. While when Cliff Lee gets healthy, which is a problem that he's starting the season on the DL, when Cliff Lee gets healthy, they'll have one of the best 1-2 starting punches in baseball. And they also have Eric Bedard. That's another guy, though, that just hasn't been able to stay healthy over the past few years. I'm going to, stick to the basics and go with the Angels. Despite the loss of John Lackey, I think the Angels will do it in the AL West.
The division of Hideki Matsui, he had a really great opening night against the Twins. If he can play that role all year, they're going to be a very, very difficult team to beat.